Indonesia. That's the special hero, or special man, the bottom, Agent Zero. That's usually been banned here in Iesf.
Live aku masuk gak? Oke.
Something like a matrix securing a solid goal laner for their team, but Kijaman will get his signature game onto his own hands, and that's the Yuzong as well. The Yuzong that's probably giving Team Philippines a bit of nightmares from that first time they met in the upper brackets, but the Leslie, a signature pick as well for Soriano in this tournament, and the Farsa, it's all just signature picks from everyone. It's the success based on the draft right here that you can see. It's the same draft actually up against Cambodia. The whole lot of emphasis on that range. But I predicted that's the matrix of brands in the gold lane. Saw a similar matchup yesterday around season. Opening from Cambodia. Soriano doesn't feel like so dominant. Get back up. This is the strongest team. They've always been on point. And now in the second half of that phase, he's in Indonesia with three that has this. And as far as security is concerned, we saw how scary that Estes pick was. Against Cambodia, so the respect given by both teams. Philippines also respecting Dream. Again, I think throughout season 10 and Mlbb, and even Iesf, Kadita is still sitting at a 100% win rate. Shows just how people he is on that hero, how he's able to maneuver around the map, play around that vision to capture, to get connections on the board. But now Indonesia will decide to go for another ban towards Villaluna, like that signature Matilda. Or will they choose to go? Just foresee that maybe trying to take away some of the heroes from Del Rosario. Del Rosario is in the conversation. It's just so flexible.
Oke. Indonesia versus Filipina. Alias evos versus blacklist. Indonesia versus Filipina. Alias evos versus blacklist. Indonesia versus Filipina. Alias evos versus blacklist. Indonesia versus Filipina.
As you know, the meta in Iesf progress, and the still more thickness, really smaller. That higher. Indonesia now with the first pick in the second phase of the draft. They need a roamer and a jungler.
Suaranya belum masuk nih cuy.
See, right? Especially for Taz, he likes those assassins. Will Coach Sace give him those assassins? The answer is no. It's a utility hero in the jungle. That Akai, as Philippines, with no hesitation, picks up that Lolita or Villaluna up against the Beatrix. Becomes a solid choice here. But the thing is, Rashi, there's a lot that can actually cancel that Una blast from Indonesia. There's a lot of CC to play with. I think that's the exact reason why
picked, being able to secure the back line, maybe zone away and push away the pad up on that Benedetta with the heavy spin. That is an option they can play around with, and in those big fights, how dynamic Indonesia is, we have no idea if the Akai is going to be an engage tool or just a crowd control tool used to just make a mess out of the formations of the Philippines.
Now it's the jungler. The Barats was seen before. Now we're gonna see the Fredrin, the most picked hero for Del Rosario here at Iesf 2022. And now for Indonesia, what's left is just the roamer. At this point, they have a solid engage already, good disengage with the Akai as well. They might actually want to double down on that cover, right? The peel pressure for the Beatrix, for the Iesf to play it front to back.
Mikanya sensitif banget ya.
If the Beatrix itemizes for DPS, I think he can match the damage out of the Leslie. Although in the late game, the true damage is the big main concern, as well as the fact that Soriano can act a bit of like an assassin and just snipe out the squishier members. So I think crowd control is still what Indonesia will try and go for. The answer will be that Franco, man. They want to make sure that they can get all the lead possible, but that's only if they can land those iron hooks.
There's a lot of mobility from Philippines, but Indonesia want to get that ball rolling from the start. Up against this team, both of the drafts have been set once again. Arashi, the first game will set the pace, will set the tone for the entire series.
We did mention that for Indonesia, if they don't get a bit of a lead, they kind of falter when the going gets tough. The uphill climb is not where they prefer to be. For the Philippines, it's a bit of the opposite.
Well, Bali, Indonesia! The first game of the Grand Finals for Iesf 2022 Mobile Legends.
Cek.
With Philippines, with their draft multi-dimensional, playing around the dive and even the front to back with their range. And Indonesia
Cek, dicoba.
doing the same. Let's jump into the land of dawn for game number 1.
Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are underway. Both junglers seem to be prioritizing clearing with that Demon Slayer emblem. But right now, it seems like Taz will be alone, and it will mean that he will be clearing a lot.
Filipina versus Indonesia. Indonesia udah dapat 1 poin ya, keunggulan dari upper bracket. Gua nggak tahu nih peraturan gimana nih baru lagi kayak gini. Jadi Indonesia udah tinggal menang 2-0 aja sih udah. Karena ini best of 5 kan, butuh 3 poin.
Before the first minute.
Level 2 roam.
Filipina dapat first blood. Imam yang dapat habis ngekill Psychots. Ini Psychots sih andalan banget nih. Naga Yuzong kemarin bisa comeback dari Filipina ya. Di sisi Filipina, core-nya ada Redlin. Di sisi Indonesia ada Akai, jadi sama-sama tank. Kalau tank itu dia fungsinya cuman ya biasalah ngetengin sama inisiasi. Objektif tetap sih, tapi kayak damage itu kayak kurang gitu loh. Damage-nya itu nanti bisa ada di Brooktain atau sama di middle-nya ya, bagian magic magenya. Kalau untuk Lane bisa juga buat inisiasi atau buat nge-push, buat apa split push gitu, atau ngetengin. Kalau untuk si Benedetta Filipin Dapadap ini lebih kayak dia bisa ngebantu war, bisa inisiasi, tapi bisa ini juga split. Nah kalau buat Yuzong udah pasti buat perang doang, karena dia split nggak bisa. Bagus, masih dapat si tas. Kill, 2 kill, 1-2.
What a turn of events right here.
Lumayan nih Indonesia.
Going for the top side play, but still falling short as Indonesia actually makes a play.
Tapi yang dapat si Dreams ya, Franco. Ini tank KDA sih.
Without the retribution, Taz
colong.
does it really well with that heavy spin.
Buffungnya kecolong ya sama si Del Rosario atau Wise. Kalau Filipina pakai nama asli nih.
Again, we need to talk about that. Indonesia
masih pakai alias atau pakai nickname.
Philippines, they opted to rotate, maybe even trade in the gold lane, but they weren't able to find any kills.
is because they don't have a lot of combos. But look at
hampir
here,
jadi
Taz
war
getting
di tengah.
burned down.
Gonna be taken down here, but
Wah,
damage from
ternyata
Imam. Del
bisa di
Rosario
take down
taking
tasnya.
a whole lot. Pops that Appraiser's
Karena
wrap.
teman-temannya tadi belum siap ya,
Dreams is
cuman
gonna be
sendirian
stunned up.
dia.
They're looking for more right now. Dreams
Kayaknya
gonna
mau
be
mati juga
collapsed
nih.
on Tapada.
Dreams
Rotates as well.
dengan
It's that
mudahnya
ultimate bonding
diambil
experience already
3-2
in the
untuk
third minute.
Filipina.
They're grouping up.
And it's that speed that the Philippines can use to outmaneuver Indonesia. When going gets tough and the combos come in from Indonesia,
Bransnya masih santai nyari gold.
and they are using it again in the top side.
Sampai di dive ke turret dong.
Will not be targeted just yet. The waves, as you can see, is what is important here. If the Filipinos
Kalau
can
tim
use
war
the
masih
pressure
awal-awal
to
gini
roll around faster,
culik-culik
it doesn't even
sedikit-sedikit
matter
sih
if
nggak apa-apa sih
Indonesians
asal
have superior engagement.
goldnya tuh bisa
You
kaya
can
gold
take a look
lane-nya.
at the gold here. The fact that
Itu walaupun
Indonesia were able to
3-2
find that
juga
goal,
perbedaan
even
gold
by a few
nggak
kills,
jauh ya.
but still are equal in gold against Philippines.
Kuncinya ada di gold lane sama di kontes
contest
turtle.
And you can see in the XP lane with just a slight
Kalau di XP lane mah cukup
early on,
main aman aja.
has just been able to rotate, has been more active across the map, providing so much pressure for his
Nah
team.
ini enaknya Benedetta tuh dia rotasinya lebih cepat dibanding Yuzong.
Coming out even due to the execution, due to
Udah
the
cutting
strategy
lane ya.
applied in this early game right here, and now with the turtle spawning out,
Ada kontes turtle didapatkan oleh Wise. Psychots buka ulti. Oh ternyata tadi Psychotsnya mundur dia buat bantu turtle ya, tapi udah telat.
And it's gonna be very
Akhirnya
difficult
dia
for the Indonesians to
nge-clear
catch
mid
Imam.
karena
He does have the purifier
Hijumnya
that
lagi
saves in that engagement.
bantu
Dreams
ke
is slowing
atas
Soriano away though, but the
atau
fact
ke
that there's
god
one
lane-nya
down,
Indonesia.
The Indonesians will be able to pick up the turret, but it does seem that the Philippines will not be able to find any compensation.
Kalau menurut gua ini untuk high ground-nya sama-sama kuat sih ya. Filipina punya Parsha, Indonesia punya Hijume, atau punya Iesf, atau Iesf apa Iesf itu bacanya. Jadi sama-sama kuat high ground-nya.
They can push the waves further into the side of the Philippines. They can use the lack of vision in that top side as well. And as you can see,
Cuman untuk
Dreams
late
is
game
already
emang
trying
ngeri
to
sih
find
ini,
some opportunities in the top side of the jungle.
Leslie.
The Filipinos are rotating in that
Tau
mid
lah,
lane. They
lu
like
pada kan
doing
Leslie
this
kayak
siege
gimana
play
kalau udah
style,
late game.
and they can poke down any member from Indonesia. This early in the game, the resistance.
Cara ngekonternya cuma nebelin darah. Kalau pakai armor mau pakai apa tetap tembus.
Villaluna though going aggressively onto Dreams, gonna be stunned up, suppressed by the bloody hunt as
Ya,
Villaluna
dapat
will fall
lumayan.
here in the 5th minute. Indonesia
Villaluna
using this Franco really
skor
well.
sementara
Looking
3-4.
for another pick towards Imam or Tapada. But it seems like it's just the battle for that mid control.
Keuntungan untuk Indonesia masih beda tipis sih goldnya.
Have a member tanky enough to just serve as that scouting tool. Right here, the Philippines are still trying to.
Padahal Indonesia udah dapat satu turret ya, tapi masih beda tipis gitu.
It's going to be very difficult for them to even get that vision necessary.
300-an sih nyampe, 300 gold. Ini kalau misalkan XP atau midnya bisa dapat turret, bisa makin jauh. Sama turtle nih dari tadi Indonesia belum dapat turtle. Turtle yang muncul. Pasnya langsung nyicil-nyicil turtle ya. Tapi lebih agresif Filipina sih, langsung ulti. Oh my goodness, pasnya juga ulti. Tapi lagi-lagi nggak dapet sih turtle-nya. Langsung gagal ultinya. Hijumnya langsung gagal ulti tadi baru dibuka padahal. Ini kuat banget sih si Fredlin.
But it will not be enough. It's just a 1-4-2.
Positioningnya kurang tadi Hijume ya, sayang banget.
But the turtle did go to the hands of Philippines.
Kalau ini ngelawan si Fredlin ini harus kayak di lambatin gitu loh, pakai ultinya si Iesf. Kalau dia kayak bebas gitu, bebas kill, bebas mukul gitu, susah cuy, keras banget. Kita lihat replaynya ya. Sini dapadapnya hampir mati tuh. Oh katanya mati juga sih, tapi kayak udah ngebuang waktu banyak. Skor sementara 4-6 untuk Indonesia. Udah mulai beda nih goldnya nih, 1000 lumayan. Tapi nggak boleh ini juga ya, nggak boleh. Wah, ditahan cuy. Hooknya nggak boleh hilang fokus, soalnya kalau Filipina itu mainnya ngagetin cuy. Sekalinya dia dapat kill, dia bakalan nyari kill yang lain. Jadi kalau bisa dia langsung ngebunuh, dapat satu, nyari lagi satu lagi. Abis itu dia strike push dah. Ya kurang bagus ngejepitnya si Tas, mati akhirnya si Hijume. Tapi Bransnya kaya nih ya, dia 4-0, ngekill 4, assist 2, udah kill participationnya udah 6. Lord udah muncul. Kayaknya baru di poking aja nih, mancing. Dapat. Langsung di zoning ya sama Imam. Psychots dapat kill, tapi terlalu depan. Nah ini nih si apa namanya, Benedettanya enak nih, bisa maju-maju ke belakang. Hijume buka ulti, siapa yang dapat lotnya? Nah kan, padap yang dapat. Walaupun si Tas sudah muter gitu masih belum dapat juga ya. Udah kepake tuh ininya.
They're on the back foot, but they find the fight that they require and dab it up with
Gak
that
apa-apa lah.
Benedetta. Just so good, zoning
Nice
everyone
try,
away,
kita lihat
and
replaynya.
some way securing that turtle as well.
Kalau ini zoningnya udah lumayan bagus si Hijumenya. Tapi kembali lagi si Tasnya tuh kayak bingung dia mau ngejepit siapa cuy. Posisinya pemain Filipina itu bagus-bagus ya, jadi kayak susah untuk dijepit sama si Tas. Ini Indonesia sih kuncinya ada di Brans, Dream sama Psychots ya. Kalau Hijume itu kayak untuk bantu Devon aja dia buat ngezoning. Kalau Dream bisa dapat hero-hero penting sih, wah mantap. Yang paling utama ya kalau bisa nih minimal dapat si Benedetta aja dah, karena Benedettanya kan bisa ngerusuh ke dalam. Kalau si Hijumenya ulti bisa disamperin sama si Dapadap. Sini Pakisnya lebih menang areanya ya. Bedanya dia nggak bisa ngelambatin aja. Oke, untuk perolehan network sementara Filipina ngebalap Indonesia nih. Udah beda 1000-an. Nggak begitu bagus buat Indonesia. Butuh momen yang bisa menciptakan momen antara Dream sama Brand sih. Kalau Tas gua nggak yakin. Nah kan, wah dia buka ulti itu buat kabur. Dah nggak ada ulti, harusnya Filipina bisa maju lagi nih kalau Tasnya udah nggak ada ulti.
Aggressive play there, but the Lord is not up, so the Indonesians will be able to reset and wait for the next opportunity. But you can see the difference right here. The Filipinos are the ones setting up, waiting for an engage, waiting for a chance to just burst someone down from the side of the Indonesians.
Di Filipina masih ngulur, balik lagi ngebuff dulu, karena buff itu juga penting ya. Kayak nggak bisa maksa maju terus gitu tanpa buff.
We're creeping in towards that late stage of the game. Let's talk a little bit about the draft, Arashi. Who has the edge when it comes to that late game?
Kalau kita bisa lihat perolehan gold per hero sih ini Brand lumayan. Cuman late game tetap dipegang sama Leslie sih. Nah, mati kan. Nah ini yang diperlukan tuh kayak gitu tuh. Kalau bisa ngeculik si Dapadap ya lumayan. Kalau Dapadap mati itu space buat Hijume. Kalau Hijume bisa ulti, nggak ada yang ganggu, itu warnanya bisa lebih enak. Ditahan hooknya, Lord udah muncul ya. Lord 12 ini bisa nubruk turret. Untung dari hero ini Indonesia apakah bisa dapat? Langsung dibuka ulti, nice ya kan? Lihat loh, Hijume sampai bisa dapat Lord dia. ngebuka ulti.
Indonesia turning the game again towards their favor.
Kalau Benedettanya bisa mati dia enak, dia free ulti. Karena kalau diincer pakai paksa juga sama si Imam, pasti langsung dihajar sama si Yuzongnya. Langsung dimaju nama Yuzongnya. Kalau si Imam asal buka ulti buat counter si Iesf. Oke, skor sementara 6-9 buat Indonesia. Filipina 6, Indonesia 9. Gold kurang lebih ya 3.000-an bedanya untuk Indonesia ya. Lumayan game ini jadi kayak di bolak-balikin keunggulannya. Kuncinya tadi ada pas ngekill di Benedetta ya, pada pintu mati jadi bisa ngeload.
Indonesia looking for that three-way push. Dreams looking for the flanks right there. Looking for a pickoff. A good feather air strike.
Mulai ngedefend Parsianya. Base turret udah dapat satu bagian atas dari Filipina. Konsil. Wah, hampir. Hampir Dreams. Ya lagi Dreams, coba dapetin momentum. Boleh dapetin Benedetta atau Imam Arsya. Kalau buat dapetin si Soriano Leslie itu susah ya, pasti dia jauh belakang. Atau mungkin dapetin Rosario tapi keras banget. Dapetin Wise Fredlin itu aduh mukulinnya lama cuy, jadi kayak teman-teman itu cukup waktu buat ngebantu gitu, buat engage juga. Saikot Yuzong apakah bisa memberikan surprise lagi? Tapi ini posisinya lagi menang ya. Base turret bawah Filipina juga udah hancur. Tinggal di tengah. Mending main aman sih, hancurin tengah dulu. Bakalan susah tuh defense-nya Filipina. Tapi tetap walaupun udah menang minion di ML itu kalau kena wipe out ya bisa strike push. Jadi kalau bisa, kalau mau war gitu untuk Indonesia, nge-clear dulu 3 lane-nya. Jadinya walaupun Filipina dapat wipe out, lane lain dari Indonesia masih nge-push. Jadi mereka kayak nggak semuanya jalan di satu lane, harus ada yang nge-clear dulu di lane lain. Jadi kesempatan buat survive-nya gede. Laut udah muncul lagi. Benedettanya masih di belakang. Dia mencoba clear bawah dulu. Lihat Saikot itu pinternya itu dia apa ya, ngumpet nyari posisi. Dapet Benedettanya, bukan siapa? Pilalina. Nice stars. Nice retry ya. Wah sakit banget tapi Leslie-nya. Yang bisa ngejar Leslie itu ya cuman Saikot doang, tapi kalau Saikot jadi naga dipukulin juga sakit cuy. Dia harus bisa cepet-cepet ke posisinya si Leslie. Pasang transform jadi manusia setengah naga. Langsung petrify, itu susah lah pokoknya. Apalagi kalau teman-temannya pada bantu ya. Ujungnya udah buka ulti. Nice Brans, posisinya lumayan ultinya. Bloknya udah masuk ke dalam. Wah hampir tuh dapet. Wih berani banget cuy, Hijumenya lompat ke dalam ya. Mati juga Wise. Kalau tebel juga kalau lawan 5 orang ya nggak bisa lah. Oke, game 1 untuk Indonesia. Udah 2-0 cuy, tinggal butuh 1 lagi. Udah 2-0 ya kan, udah otomatis plus 1, ini menang jadi 2-0. Butuh 1 poin lagi karena ini best of 5, lu butuh 3 poin doang.
of the end for Philippines. It's match point, Arashi. We mentioned this. Losing here.
Match point.
It's a lot to take in. It's 2-1, 2-0 actually currently. Because again of the +1 that Indonesia has.
Oke, kita tunggu dulu ya, santai dulu.
The grand finals from the upper brackets.
It's a lot of mental pressure for the members from the Philippines, but of course, despite how experienced they are, it's still gonna be a huge load. But speaking of that, if you guys want to have an easier time when you're playing your own ranked games, what device, Mirko, could you recommend?
Well, I wonder what it is. The device you see right in front of both me and Arashi. It's a Samsung Galaxy A series. You guys can go ahead and check it out. If you guys are having problems with your smartphone currently, it's time to go for an upgrade. Let me tell you right now, because we have 3 incredible additions to the Samsung Galaxy A series 5G. There's the A33 5G, the cheaper option, but still with wonderful specs. Galaxy A53 5G and the Galaxy A73 5G. Now, Arashi is the analyst. He knows a little bit more when it comes down to the specifications, so I'll hand it over to you, Arashi, for the specs right now.
It's all in here, man. 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage space, 120 refresh rate for that smooth gameplay, especially at the highest level of Mobile Legends. And of course, it's 5G ready, so say goodbye to your network problems. That's a thing of the past.
Yeah, absolutely, right? At this point, right now, we need to talk a little bit about the game again, Arashi. Philippines down 2-0.
And finally, there's a team that can actually solve this big problem. The Farsa and the Leslie combo. It's been so devastating, but the Indonesians have found a way to break the code. But as we all know, the pattern is any team is able to break the code, it happens once. Only once.
Villa Luna has said this before. Philippines, this roster, the blacklist international roster,
lumayan lah evos nggak lolos playoff.
Right now,
MPL bisa mewakilin diri jadi perwakilan Indonesia. Apalagi kalau bisa juara lumayan lah.
Match MVP brands and yeah, we
buat
can give it over to him.
Obat luka dari MPL.
With the nail in the coffin.
And very solid
dan fansnya juga pasti ya lebih terobati lah. Terus untuk fans dari tim lain jadi kayak, waduh mau dibully nggak nih? Tapi kalau kalah sih habis ini. Kalau nggak juara sih habis.
Hold up their own against the Filipinos and it all became a macro game.
Karena kalau di e-sport itu kayak juara 2 itu kurang ya, emang harus juara 1. Almost never enough. Lo ngangkat piala atau tidak sama sekali. Nah lo kalau juara 2, juara 3 lo nggak bakal dikenang cuy. Juara 1 yang dikenang.
And of course Taz on the retribution, very clean as well. Overall, it just seems like the Indonesians have a lot more options to play around. And we already talked about how the Numinant Blast
tadi si tas itu jelek banget iniannya retrinya, tapi untuk Lord yang terakhir itu nice.
The Petrify, the knockout from Taz right here, as you can see, everything needs to be watched by the Filipinos.
Malah si Hijaunya juga tadi yang dapat Lordnya, berarti dia fokus ngetap Lordnya itu. Nggak peduli sama musuh ada di mana. Pas lagi ulti, positioningnya bagus.
I think that was the main concern for us as well on the caster desk when we saw that Lolita pick. That Numenau Blast becomes basically the most dangerous weapon coming from that Lolita, right? Obviously the shield as well to cover, but with that Iron Hook constantly being on point from Dreams, it's always Villa Luna who needs to take it, right? And with that, Villa Luna gets completely bursted down by everything from Indonesia. The damage is unreal, especially from Brands on the Beatrix in the late game. Take a look at his items, Hunter Strike, and instantly towards the Malefic Roar with the DHS. Heavy emphasis on melting those frontliners down, and they did it. Indonesia played a very well front-to-back composition.
When the fight gets very, very long, yes, the Nibiru's passion gets blocked by the bulwark. We saw in the tunnel fight,
but si Brands ya, gak mati dia ke kill 8, asisnya 6.
So Brands is definitely
lihat dari damage, wah liatin tuh damage-nya. Damage-nya si Brands 66.000, beda tipis sih sama Iesf sama Aksya juga gede. Ya memang sih dari dua orang ini sih. Untuk Leslie-nya ya begitu, kurang late game.
that's slow and take all that poke damage before the fight even begins.
The damage taken though by Del Rosario, 117,000. It's a lot of damage to take, man.
Karena Leslie-nya tuh kalau udah kena combo sama Yuzong, nah lihat kan yang MVP-nya si Brands tidak mati sama sekali. Karena dari awal itu kayak Filipina ada warnya di early game itu, kalau menurut gue kurang worth it ya. Yang penting lu fokus aja dulu di goldnya, turtle sama gold ya. Kalau nggak ada turtle ya nggak usah war gitu. Lu umpanin gold lane-nya, dapetin turtle udah bagus banget. Juga tadi dapat turret duluan kan di gold lane. Main ML sebenarnya rumusnya gitu, lu menang gold lane, menang objektif, lebih gampang buat menang.